Moving on to Texas now, last night's scheduled execution of convicted killer Duane Buck was halted by the U.S. Supreme Court with just a few hours to spare. And the case is drawing new attention to presidential contender Rick Perry's support for the death penalty. CBS News political correspondent Jan Crawford has more for us this morning from Washington. And Jan, this plays into both your wheelhouses because you covered the Supreme Court for a number of years. Give us the overview here of this decision. Why is it so important and how did it come about?
Well, obviously, anytime the justices step in and grant a last-minute reprieve like they did last night, I mean, that is a dramatic moment. They want to take a closer look at the arguments here. Buck's lawyers are asking the justices to set aside his death sentence because the jury in his case was told he was more dangerous to society because he was black. Now, his lawyers say that violated his constitutional rights, and they're asking for a new sentencing hearing. Erica, there is no question, though, of Buck's guilt. He's admitted he murdered his girlfriend and another man back in 1995. The only issue here is whether or not he's going to live or die.
Okay, so that's the issue there. As we mentioned, this is a Texas case, the home state of Rick Perry, now a Republican presidential contender. Has he spoken out at all on this ruling out from the Supreme Court?
We haven't heard from Governor Perry yet on this. He obviously refused to grant Buck a new hearing. And, it came up in last week's Republican debate. He said, not this case, but the issue in general, that he had never struggled with the issue of the death penalty because he said Texas has a thoughtful and clear process in place. And in the 11 years he's been governor, Perry has presided over 235 executions. Obviously, like you said, though, this is getting a lot of attention because he's running for president. But, Erica, I just don't see this being an issue in the Republican primary. Most Republicans, most Americans, about 70% of Americans support the death penalty, and there is just no way you're going to have another Republican candidate arguing, Rick Perry is just too tough on those cold-blooded killers. So I don't see it coming up or hurting him in the primary. It may be an issue if he were to win the primary and go on to the general election. He's going to have to appeal to a broader base, but not at this point.
All right, Jan Crawford in Washington this morning. Jan, thanks.